Hello there. Welcome to the Kirk Minahan wrap-up show for August 2nd, 2020. You can handle it, which is something that was said last night in a text from Kirk to Dave. Dave took it as a very cunty. His original thing was he was very cunty, kind of like talking down to sort of thing. Kirk read it, and you can just tell, like, as soon as Kirk started laughing, was not his intention at all. I don't know how Dave interpreted that. I've seen cunty Kirk texts before. This is not one of them. This was not one of them. Great title to a great episode. I'm joined by Blind Owl, who it's been quite some time since you joined me on the wrap up show, my friend.
It's been a hot minute. I'm playing hurt. I tested positive for COVID today, so playing hurt.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but I just saluted you.
Well, thank you.
COVID is a motherfucker.
It really is.
I would know. I would know firsthand. But let's jump right into it. Fun show today. Fun.
Great one.
Started off, Kirk talking about the lottery and about how like the winners in Illinois, how do you have to go public with it? All these different
that's very strange. I don't see why that's a law.
Why? Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's marketing. They need to be like Joe Schmo just won the lottery. You can be the next Joe Schmo. If it's just a faceless thing, they need to be able to market it. So that's why.
Yes, but do I tell you if I get a raise?
No, but like if part of your job requirement was when you apply for the job, whenever you get a raise, you have to tell someone. I mean, people play the lottery knowing the rules, so it's not like they're being forced to play it.
I guess you're right there. I can't argue with that.
But I do like Kirk's. Everyone always says take the lump sum. Dave was calling it the most stupidest thing ever, because Kirk suggested maybe because you can either take the lump sum or you can get the 30-year payment. At the first of every year, you kind of get whatever 1/30 of the whole prize was. Dave said it's the stupidest thing he's ever heard. I don't know. I kind of feel like Kirk, if you win $500 million, like a normal person is, unless you're planning on, buying a sports team or, investing it heavily into huge companies and things like that. You just want to continue even living like an affluent life. You're not going to be able to spend that in one lifetime. So I kind of get the idea of just knowing you have like this fallback of, okay, at the first of every year I get, let's call it 30, 20 million a year. So even if I blow through it or someone steals it or does something, crazy with it, I still get 20 million at the start of every year. And because I'd be scared too, that people are trying to steal from me or to maybe stab a knife in my back to take all the money.
It just comes down to how much you trust people and how much you trust a bank. I don't even know what bank you put $500 million in. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, definitely not the bank I use. I don't think they would be able to accept.
I don't think the bank I use is worth $500 million.
Yeah. PG Minahan says Bobby Bonilla deal works. Yeah, everyone always praises Bobby Bonilla or Bonilla. Oh fuck, I'm pronouncing this name wrong. Every year, every July when he gets a big check from the Mets. But it's like, everyone also always says, oh, never, you take the lump sum. So I do think.
I think just monetarily it makes sense to take the lump sum, but if you're a person who can't not spend money, then it makes sense to do it yearly.
True. But funny show, and then we went from that to kind of talking about Dave's. Before the show, me and Dave always talk about what we masturbated to the night before.
Oh, of course.
We always say like oh blah blah blah, and Dave says that he really wishes he really hopes that. Because I mentioned something about Ana de Armas. I was like, oh, she's fucking hot. And he said, oh, I hope her stuff ends up on Pornhub, which is very, strange.
It's an odd comment. Just watch the show if you really like it.
Watch the TV show. And, I mean, Dave said he's masturbated multiple times. So Dave says I know he said he's masturbated to that one, I forget her name, that one actress in True Detective who fucks Woody Harrelson. She's very attractive. He said he's masturbated multiple times to Khaleesi's rape scenes in Game of Thrones. So is his thing that he won't jerk off? So we thought it was weird with Steve, how Steve would go on Scroller
It was still
and
images, but
still images and like GIFs and things like that. So Dave needs to be watching an HBO show, but then he can't just watch the show or watch the movie and jerk off to that because that's too many clicks, I think he said. So
he said it's 4 clicks. Oh dear.
So he said he wants someone to take that and then put that on Pornhub. So a whole seems like he's jumping through a bunch of hoops.
So then it's only 3 clicks? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah. And I didn't really get that because we were talking, we Big Ev signed a contract extension with Barstool. He's the Ohio State guy. And let me see if I still Googled it. If you just Google it, it didn't show up on my phone, but if you Google Big Ev on, no, looks like they took it down. It's kind of sad. There's just some girl just taking a dick. She was just getting fucking pounded from behind. It was kind of like good for her.
Hey, get after it if you can, I suppose.
So that's kind of how that conversation all started. And then I also talked about how my favorite porn star of all time is dead, and it was very sad.
Very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she died of a broken heart and cocaine, but it was tough. But yeah, I just think Dave's masturbatory habits are a little strange. Also, him coming out and saying like there's nothing more in the world I want to do than suck a dick.
Interesting.
Isn't exactly true. I can think of probably 6 or 7 things I want to do. If I wanted to suck a dick, I think in Dave's mind, a couple weeks ago when he found out I went to that homosexual club, in his mind he's like, oh, Justin is on that side. So I definitely think that whenever he gets the chance to kind of to show his true colors and what he thinks, he will throw that out there.
I mean, his homophobia is becoming more and more prevalent with each day.
Oh, every single day. To say there's nothing more in the world I wanted to do. That's just really, Dave. Go to the Super Bowl, maybe. I think I'd much rather do that. But so the text message that Kirk sent Dave last night was so, I don't want to call it innocent, because it wasn't innocent. It was just nonchalant, just like
a very average text messages. I've had that same text exchange with anyone from my wife to coworkers.
Well, it's just like, hey, like if you and me are hanging out, and I'll be like, hey, want to get pizza? And you're like, yeah, I can order it. And then I'll be like, oh no, I got it. And then you're like, okay, you can do that.
All right, you handle it.
Yeah, you handle it. Okay, you can handle that. It's just like, that's and then Dave's tirade of how he wants, he wants Kirk to say thanks to him more.
This just reeks of insecurity and how
I was going to say it reeks of like insecurity in a paternal figure. He's like, just say thanks. Just, then he said like, I don't even need you to say thanks, but it's like this whole thing is you were just telling Kirk that like it's common courtesy for people to say thanks. And now
I typically don't say thanks unless I'm in person. It's a very strange thing. Especially over a text message. Especially if you're just saying you'll handle something, like
be like, oh no, I can take care of it, and Kirk's like, okay, you can handle it. Yeah. It was just such a overblown reaction to something I really don't think was that big of a deal. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen anyone online kind of take Dave's side in this.
It's just insecurity, just showing itself in thinking somebody's mad at you and they're really not.
Yeah. And like, I understand, like what Mike was saying, like, I understand kind of being on your tiptoes around Kirk when he's texting, you don't know how, what he's going to say. I would say like, if he's texting you something, like if Kirk really meant something by that, he wouldn't have texted anything. He just would have brought it up on the show. Kirk's a big dude on the show, sort of
no
guy.
Responses.
But like, wouldn't even see like they were trying to book Alex Bennett, and Dave's like, oh, I can take care of it. Kirk's like, yeah, you can take it. I don't know. Right, I don't know.
Basically telling him to do his job. I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know. That was just so overblown by Dave. An all-time Dave.
Typical culinary overreaction due to his insecurity.
Misread. It's not even I guess overreaction, but just misread on that. And then, I mean, me today, bringing up Victory over Japan Day to 2 people.
Just before I ask, what's the date of that, by the way?
There's multiple days. Some people consider it, like the state of Rhode Island considers it to be the second Monday of, I believe it's just called Victory Day, but it's supposed to be Victory over Japan Day, and it's the second Monday of August. So this year it would be August 8th. Some people consider it to be the day that Japan actually surrendered, which not the formal surrender, but they stood down, which is August 14th. It was August 15th in Japan. Or some people consider the date that the actual, like, the war was like signed, the war has ended between Japan, which was September 2nd, after everything was ratified and everything. Oh, were you quizzing me?
I was.
Oh, you fuck. Oh my goodness. First of all, I should not be the one who's getting my fucking World War II knowledge questioned on this thing. Blando, I'm gonna quiz you real quick. Why did Japan surrender in World War II? Was there any significant event, or perhaps two events that the United States placed upon Japan that might have influenced them to surrender quicker than normal?
Yeah, Fat Man was dropped on.
Yes,
Hiroshima.
Fat Man and Little Boy.
Yeah.
The fact
Nagasaki as well.
The fact that Dave did not know that is frankly shocking. Like, you should not be like that should be on like the American citizens test.
Okay, Justin, let me throw one back at you.
Oh my God. Okay, fine, hit me.
What year was George Washington elected president?
Was it 1778?
Ooh, swing and a miss, Mr. Swinging Dick, U.S. history, my guy. It's 1789.
Okay, yeah, I don't give a shit. That's old shit. I'm all about that new shit.
Because World War II is super new.
Yeah, World War II. I mean, yeah, it was the most important war ever fought. To not know when George Washington was elected president compared to why World War II ended.
I'm not comparing. I'm just saying. You're gonna swing a big history dick. You gotta answer the question.
Who gives a shit about dates? Dates are the least important thing. Oh, you memorize dates. Congratulations.
You just criticized somebody for not knowing a date.
They had no idea. No, not that they didn't know a date. I wasn't criticized. If Mike had no idea what day it was, that's fine. They never heard of this before. They never even heard of the day before.
I believe you said, "Oh my God," when he said, "Oh, is it today?"
Because he had no idea what it was. It's just embarrassing. Just okay. First of all, if you know anything, you know that the bombs were dropped on August 6th and August 9th. So how could okay? First of all, I'm gonna end up killing you because I don't know you're a fucking color name plant here trying to the man did not
just asking questions.
The man does not understand why World War II was ended in the Pacific Campaign. And I understand maybe my remembrance of playing a video game from 2007 is not the most appropriate way of celebrating VJ Day.
Hey, everyone celebrates in their own way,
but it's certainly something. But yeah, to have Dave just not know that is
I agree. It's egregious, but
it's egregious. So shut the fuck up. So
I'm saying if you're gonna
we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I always like it when Angry Mike comes out. Not even necessarily Angry Mike, passionate Mike. You know, Mike. One of people rip Mike for just being kind of like woe is me and lackadaisical when it comes to things, especially when he was with the show full time. Would say he has no passion. But days like today is really when his passion shines. You know, he comes out, he's fucking on fire. I bring up the Deshaun Watson case, which I believe I know they said it came out 2 days ago, but I
believe it was yesterday.
I think the actual 6-game suspension came out yesterday.
I believe they're dropping all the suspensions. They dropped most of them yesterday, if I recall correctly.
Well, today the whole Miami Dolphins thing happened, which I'm sure Kirk will want to hit on during his solo show with me on Thursday. But the idea, I don't know. I just brought it up just to see if Kirk had any takes on it. And in a way Kirk can only do, Mike somehow, you know, he brings up the non-violent predator. Mike's like, I'll give you an example of a non-violent predator. Louis C.K. Kirk disagreed with the non-violent part at first. You know, he was talking about how it was mentally. And my favorite part during that is when Kirk was like, even Mike has to know this. When Kirk says, who is physically bigger, Louis C.K. or the women he was masturbating in front of? And to be like, I don't know. Of course you don't know. It could have been a woman's bodybuilder. Let's take a guess on who was more physically appealing.
And it's Mike's gonna defend Louis C.K. He did a whole podcast defending him essentially, and it was fine. I agreed with some points and I disagreed with others, but there's no questioning. He admitted that he was a predator, and predators are predators, whether you're violent or not, in my opinion.
Yes. It's good just to see just the back and forth when Mike is just screaming at Kirk, and Kirk really wasn't even screaming. I mean, Kirk was loud at some points, but you can tell like Louis C.K. is like it's a topic that just gets Mike fucking riled up.
We all have soft spots. It's U.S. history. Mike, it's Louis
suck my
C.K.
dick. Yeah, I don't want to suck dick. I want to get my dick sucked by you. By the end of this, trying to tell me if I'm going, when was George Washington born?
I didn't say born.
Yeah, who gives a shit? But it was just like to see Mike just fired up about it is just excellent. Yeah, excellent content.
It was peak Mike. Again, it harkens. I can't even talk. Harkens back to the Portnoy incident, and he wasn't quite blinded with rage, but he was getting close.
No, he was just like you can tell. Kirk was just poking at him to see how he would respond to that. So it was the final show. No more Dave this week. Dave is gone. He's off to the faraway state of Rhode Island for a wedding. The Ocean State. Very important. So he will not be around tomorrow night for the staying in my car competition, which I'm excited for.
I'm excited as well.
Just 12 hours of just
give us a sneak peek. What do we got? What do we have to look forward to?
People just sitting in my car. I got a bucket ready. I got some challenges.
Piss bottles.
There's not going to be a piss, but there's going to be like a piss bucket. And I guess Kirk said people can bring their own piss bottles, I guess, but I personally think that people should.
Might be a sanitation issue if they don't.
I don't give a fuck. I mean, just
okay.
If you make it in the bucket, it's a 5-gallon bucket. We're not going to fill up 5 gallons.
Bucket. I hope
we're not going to fill up 5 gallons of piss and shit.
I hope you're going to dump it out after each one.
No.
Okay. So
why would you do that? There's going to be a lid to it.
Okay. Throw a lid on there. Fine.
Yeah. Fucking savage. But it should be exciting. I'm curious to see how many of the people show up that accepted the invite. I know for a fact Tim McCanton showed up. He was. Let me see.
What had a couple tweets today. If he's the only one that shows, which is a distinct possibility.
Then he gets the back seat to himself, I guess. I pray he's not the only one that shows. I hope Kirk said we're going to be able to get 4 people in there. We're going to try.
That's going to be a tight squeeze, but I've done it for short periods, not 12 hours.
Yeah, Tim tweeted out my checklist for the Tomorrow's Car Challenge may someday be submitted to the @Kirkman Show Museum. What a strange list. So we'll see what he brings. I'm sure he's just going to be chock full of content. I would say one hint would be like wear something very light. Wear some Tommy John. Do not wear anything that will retain a lot of heat. That's going to be my one cause for them. So,
should we have Watertown PD on call here?
Oh, I don't know. Someone's going to end up calling the police on me.
Oh no!
Because I realized some of the Minifans are just fucking feds who just want not like, oh, is this legal? People tell me, oh, the police are going to come and say, you can't have a poo-poo bucket in your car.
I mean, you certainly can. There's no law against it.
Well, according to some of the feds that have been in my DM saying, oh, you just want to make sure because what if the police come and then you get arrested? And it's like, okay, well, calm down there, tattletale.
Yeah,
Tyler.
Geez. If you're moving around, you should be fine too.
Yeah, but they'll be moving around to like here's a hint. So the shit in the piss bucket is going to be in the front seat. So if you have to shit or piss, you can crawl to the front seat, and then you're going to kind of like face away from the dash to like,
Yeah.
so you'll be like looking in the back seat as you piss and
Staring
shit.
at people while you piss
So,
or shit.
yes. So
I hope to there may be some Imodium being taken, so nobody has to
Imodium.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is. That sounds dangerous.
It is an anti shit drug.
Diarrhea. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Anti-diarrhea medication.
Yes. I would suggest it to all the contestants. I'm not a doctor. It's just what I would suggest.
Yes. So, I mean, the phone calls were okay today. I think Blind Mike's deodorant called in.
I'm in it for the long haul on this.
Yeah,
I really want to know where this is going.
We'll see where it goes. Couple calls about Kirk. One person said, tried to kind of take backup Mike. See, this is why I like being on YouTube, is because the calls kind of have more relevancy to the topics at hand.
Agreed.
We got one of the calls today. Said was trying to back Mike up. Said, "Oh, Kirk, you're a libertarian," and I think that's a strange take. It's tough.
That has nothing to do with non-consensual sexual relations.
Yeah. So, but any other takeaways from today's show, Blondell?
I mean, just Dave Cullinane's sensitivity over the mother-in-law calls.
I get it. I mean, it's one thing. I get what Kirk's saying. You gotta have some sort of laugh through it. But I think Dave made
if you react like that, it's just going to encourage it.
I think Dave made a really good point where he said, "It's not my mother."
That's a good point. He probably has to hear it from home.
I guess I don't think she listens.
I hope she doesn't.
But the fact that it can get back to her, and I don't know, it's tough when someone you love loses someone they love.
I get it, but it's just reacting like that is not going to make it better.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I think Kirk plays it right. I mean, Kirk's not going to have an episode where he just fucking destroys, Cullinane's mother-in-law, but I don't know. Maybe he
might.
Will
Who knows?
But for the fans, I don't think showing it affects you is the right.
It's not the move.
Go towards.
As Cullinane would say, that's not the play.
So yeah, no, that was certainly something. Anything else from today's show you wanted to?
No, that's it from me. Thoughts and prayers to for those who are in the car tomorrow.
Yes, very, very exciting. Check it out. It's going to be on Twitter. I'm not able to do it on YouTube. It will be on the Periscope. The show account will be live, starting at probably a little bit before 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be off.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I have no fucking idea. My car is probably just going to fucking break down tomorrow.
That's what to say.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen is we're going to go in to eat, and then you'll just see a tow truck towing my car away or something.
Then you got to break into a car.
Something. Yeah, I just got to break into a new car, new shit box. But truthfully, what I'm looking forward to the most is Thursday night, just being able to clean out my car. Just, having it look all pretty and new.
It's a bit of a sty. I would get on that.
Yeah, well, I can't get on that. The whole thing was I was going to clean it last Monday, but
no. It's been made a thing, so you now have to wait.
Ever since then, but okie dokie, Blind Al. Anything you want to promote? I know you got the blind baseball. Is that still going on?
That just ended. We took 5th in the world, so it's always good.
5th in the world. Wow.
Yes, there. We would have liked to do better, but
is that like 5th out of 7 or
5th out of 17 this year? Yes,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, so we did pretty well. I ended up with heat exhaustion on day 1 in Texas, so that's fun.
Oh, and then now you obviously have COVID, so
yeah, it's been a fun week. It's been a fun week.
But check out Blind Owl blogs as well.
You're
always blogging away on that.
Oh yeah.
And I believe that does it. Thank you to Kirk. Thank you to Dave. Thank you to Mike for a great show. Let's just read the comments here. See if anything.
Oh, let's see if anything.
Oh, Alexander Daddario was the girl that Collie likes to masturbate to on HBO.
Yes. How could I forget?
Someone says, "Is this the worst show on YouTube?" The Justin show is pretty bad, but
I mean, it's not bad. I'm on it. It can't be too bad.
Some guy says, Justin, you need to engage the chat more during YouTube Live. What do you do back there all day? I'm looking up things, whenever Kirk gets brought up, brings up something, I'm trying to look it up. I mean, my job is not to engage the chat.
I thought he meant right now.
No, I think he means during the show.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know how old you are.
I turn 30 on next Friday.
Oh, look at that. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Will you be taking the car by Kirk's house? Let me think about that real quick. Will I be taking the car?
That's a poor choice in life.
By Kirk's house. I don't know. We'll say it's 50-50 that we stop by Kirk's house at 3 a.m. Yeah, no, probably not, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'd say no.
I will say, someone brings up the prison cocktail. If someone drinks a prison cocktail at Shoppers Cafe, I think they get a spot. I think they're guaranteed a spot if they're able to down a prison cocktail, blood, shit, semen, and it's blood, shit, semen, piss. If they're able to drink some of that,
that'd be trouble.
No, good for them. I think they're deserving of a spot. So
sure,
so
why not?
Like I said, thank you to Kirk, thank you to Dave, thank you to Mike, thanks Blind Owl, and we'll talk to you all later.
See ya.
Bye.